One thing that is inevitable when thinking on going traveling is asking yourself what kind of camera equipment you take with you. In my case, up until recently, I would take a DSLR camera with lenses and everything that goes with it. But could the DJI Pocket 2 be the one and only camera, getting rid of all that excess baggage and shenanigans? It would definitely be better than being lumping around a heavy rucksack, especially when you go through airports and congested areas. In this video, I'm going to show you 10 things that the DJI Pocket 2 does that no other camera can do, whether it's a smartphone or a larger camera. But before we get started, let me tell you a couple of things. Everything in this video has been shot using the Pocket 2 and an iPhone 12 Pro Max. And if you're wondering how I managed to get the shallow depth of field that you see here or blur background, stick around to the end of the video and I'll give you a bonus tip on how to do it. It's going to transform the way you do your videos and it's relatively easy and straightforward to do. And lastly but not least, I'll be giving away a set of freewell ND filters for the Pocket 2. So if you're able to guess how many times I say the word amazing in this video, and I'm able to verify you as a subscriber to the channel, I'll be sending you this set of NDs totally free. Hell, I even pay for the shipping. So anyway, with that being said, let's get the video going. Size and weight is one of the most underrated features of any camera and one that the Pocket 2 is best than anything in the market. Have you ever tried filming with a DSLR camera, for instance? Not just vlogging, but normal filming through the day. You need to carry a camera, a lens, an ND filter, maybe an onboard monitor or an onboard microphone, a handheld tripod or mini tripod. It's not lightweight, and through the day it gets really heavy and it's just not flexible or functional. With the Pocket 2, you can pretty much go on all day, and this is so lightweight, you don't even realize that you're holding it. Another thing that I love about the Pocket 2 is how discreet it is when filming in public places. If you're going to be filming with a phone, a combo with a phone and a gimbal or a DSLR camera, trust me, people will know that you're filming, you'll stand out like a sore thumb. A perfect example is this location. I've been kicked out of it 2 or 3 times already. The moment I rock up with a DSLR camera and a tripod, they ask me to leave. It's a private state and I can't take photo and video. The security guy already knows me. The moment I come through the gate, he's already checking me out with the eye. He's keeping an eye on me. But with this camera, on the other hand, I put it on a small DSLR tripod. They don't even know what I'm doing. As far as they're concerned, I'm just some crazy tourist doing some type of vlogging or talking to some device. This is what I love about this camera. It's amazing functionality, and you don't get that with any other type of camera. The setup with the Pocket 2 is literally minimum. You power on and you get a 3-axis gimbal that is perfectly balanced and is working as it's supposed to work. Compare that to the amount of time that you need to spend balancing whatever gimbal you choose with a smartphone or a camera, and trust me, you'll learn to appreciate this. One thing I love about the Pocket 2 is how you can put it in places that you just wouldn't be able to put a smartphone, a DSLR camera, let alone a large camera. You can get some really cool and creative shots that look absolutely amazing. Another thing that I love about this camera is how quickly you can get up to speed and start filming, and it's literally less than 2 seconds. Compare that to a phone with a gimbal or any camera, and it can take you literally anywhere between 5 to 15, 20 seconds or longer. Here you press the button and in less than 2 seconds you're literally filming at full resolution. I absolutely love it because sometimes you want to record something right then and there and you don't have the time to be waiting for the camera to come on. So this is amazing and I absolutely love it. If there is one area where the DJI Pocket 2 stands out well above anything any smartphone or camera offers, that's sound. DJI has done an amazing job here, giving you so much functionality. Starting with the 4 onboard microphones, you get really nice, clean and sharp audio out of them. It will definitely bail you out if you happen to forget to bring a microphone with you. If you own the Create combo, which is a set of accessories that I highly recommend anyone having, you get a really nice wireless microphone and a receiver. Honestly, it's super easy to set up, really quick. You get amazing audio out of it. You can even attach a lapel mic to it and get that additional functionality. Honestly, DJI has done a brilliant job here, giving you so much value for money. Another thing that I love about the Pocket 2 is You can, for instance, mount it onto a pole or monopod, and because it's so small and tiny, you can fit it through the most weird and small places, or get some really creative and really visual shots. I recently did a video about this in central London, which I encourage you to watch, and the results are mind-blowing. So with a rig like this, it's so easy, you know, nobody's gonna tell us absolutely anything. We could literally be here for half an hour doing this. Nobody's gonna come and tell us anything. Something that I really like, and I've got some really good results with the DJI Pocket 2, is using it as a sort of an action cam with a chest mount. You get some really cool, amazing stabilized shots. Probably not what the manufacturer intended the camera to be used as in the first place, but honestly, the stuff that you get out of the camera, it's amazing. Let me show you. Another thing that I love about the Pocket 2 is the fact that you can control the camera and the gimbal wirelessly. Now, wireless control of the camera is not something special or unique. Pretty much any decent camera you buy these days will allow you to do that. But what is unique about the Pocket 2 is the fact that you can control the gimbal. So you can do panning and tilting while at the same time setting up the camera. Now, you can wireless control a camera, but that's all you're gonna do. You can't move the camera. With the Pocket 2, you can reframe and find the right angle and perfect spot, all done wirelessly, giving you so much flexibility. Another aspect of the Pocket 2 that I really like, that no other camera get anywhere near close, let alone match, is the fact that you can use either the smallest screen on the Pocket 2 itself, or attach a phone to see on a larger screen. Now, obviously, this goes hand in hand with whatever it is that you're filming and where. But having that flexibility is fantastic, because there might be situations that you want to go unnoticed and not draw attention to yourself. So using the Pocket 2 on its own with a small screen is great. There will be other instances where you genuinely want to see much better and clearer what it is that you're filming. So having that additional screen space that you get by attaching a phone is brilliant. This is functionality that no other camera can match. This is my final bonus tip, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And this is how to recreate a blur background or cheat the depth of field. Now, naturally, this is not something that you can do on camera. The Pocket 2 has many limitations, and this is one of them. To do this, I need a software package, and what I use is a software called DaVinci Resolve, the studio version, not the free version. You can't do it with the free version, unfortunately. But if you're considering on investing on the studio version, or you already have the studio version, watch this. Okay, so here we are in DaVinci Resolve, as you can see here on the bottom left, and we are in the studio version, not the free version, because this trick or hack will not work on the free version. So what you need to do is to come to the color panel, and I just did a grade of it. It's the second clip in the video anyway, so you just seen it. And this trick is software based, so everything to do with the software based will be processor intensive. You need to bear this in mind as to how often you do this, and I'll show you the way I do it. By the way, what you need to do is create a copy of the node or the layer, Alt S on Mac. I don't know about PC, sorry, but it can be very different than maybe Control S or even the same Alt S. And basically you need to come to here to the section that says Magic Mask. Come to the first frame. You can start anywhere. You can start here and then track on to the left and then to the right, but I usually like to start, if I can, start for the first frame, just draw a line there, and automatically it's going to give you the highlight of the subject that is basically rotoscoping out. What this does is that DaVinci Resolve is doing this for you automatically, rather than you having to create a mask or a rotoscope layer and then dot by dot and then animating it, which is a real pain. So this is amazing, it does it for you. You can select the beta here, which gives you a much more refined outline of what it is that you're selecting. But for the purpose of tracking, I like to keep it on faster, and if I can do half resolution. And then all you need to do basically is hit the tracking. And obviously this is processor intensive, so it will take a while. As you can see, it's going a little bit slow because it has to basically follow loads and loads of dots and animate them as the playback goes. So I'm gonna come back and once it's done and pick up from there. What you need to understand is that this trick, it really is processor intensive, okay? It takes a lot of resources. So if you have a timeline where you want to recreate this effect, you need to understand that you need a quite strong computer, or quite powerful computer. If you have a bit of an oldie, it's going to struggle, it's not going to be able to move this. There is a lot of computational thinking that is going on here. There is a lot of dots that are being automatically animated. So you need a really strong computer. I'm using a MacBook Air M1, and it's just about copying, but if you have loads of these clips, it starts to struggle. My recommendation is that you do this at the very end, after you've done the grading, because it will take up a lot of resources in your computer. Okay, and with this tick, it tells us that it has finished, and what we do now is we reverse the effect. I would probably do this here, Smart Refine to 60. You can see if I turn beta now how it gets all refined. I will put a radius of 1 so that the edges are a little bit blurred. And then I would come to Open Effects, I would do Lens Blur, drop it, and see what happens. Right? That's obviously way too much, it doesn't look natural. But let's do something like 2.5. And that's beginning to look much more natural. So this is what the footage looks with the effect, and this is without the effect. So effect, and no effect. And this is it basically, You just created shallow depth of field. Now, this is where things need to be said, okay? This is a 40-second clip, and it took about 5 minutes to render, to do that, okay? Now, if you try to move this on playback, it's just not gonna happen, okay? Let's try playback, and it's gonna struggle to play a single clip. If you remove the effects and you go back to the original, obviously it moves it no problem. So that's why I said that you should do this at the very end. After you've done the grade and absolutely everything, you do this. Now, naturally, if you have a long timeline and you have 30 minutes and you try to do this effect, you're gonna be sitting waiting for the render forever, because it was 5 minutes for 40 seconds, Now, the way I do it, the way I use this is, for instance, I have the main clip, for instance, this one. And if you see the timeline, I have seven seconds, as you can see here, 7 seconds. And then I have B-roll, okay? B-roll, B-roll, B-roll. Then I would have another clip here, and this clip is another 7 seconds, okay? And then again, B-roll and B-roll and B-roll, and then you move on to the next. And that's how you do it, because if you need to do an entire timeline with this effect, it's gonna take you forever, and the rendering is gonna be outrageous. Now, I've done this for the purpose of this video. Obviously, this is shot with the DSLR camera, so no problem there. But a lot of these clips, I've recreated this effect, and it's very processor intensive, okay? So this is it, guys. This is how you recreate or cheat depth of field or the blur background. And obviously there is no magic trick that you press one button and it just happens. You know, anything that is software based is processor intensive, so you need to pick and choose when you're going to do it or if you're going to do it at all. So this is it, guys. This is the end of my 10 cool things that the Pocket 2 can do that no other smartphone or camera can do or would struggle to do. I really hope you enjoyed it and you got something positive out of it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. It will help us with the YouTube algorithm and getting some traction within YouTube itself. If you're new to the channel or you just stumble upon it, consider subscribing to it. It's really nice to see the numbers going up. It helps us continue doing videos on a weekly basis. At the end of this video, I'll leave a couple of links to other 2 videos that I think you will like. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.